Greetings, everyone. This video is going to talk about how I personally use this item called EasyBib to create my works cited pages and bibliographies, anything that I need to list sources for and cite them on a reference page. And this example is from my first year composition course, where students have to create a course annotated bibliography. What I have on the screen is not yet annotated, but it does have the cited information. So I'm using EasyBib to cite all of the assigned readings that that are assigned that will eventually have more annotations. But to get started, I just want to get everything cited correctly. So I'm using MLA, and I'm also using a version of EasyBib that is paid for. So this gives you a little bit more than the free version. So with the paid version, I can select whatever documentation style that I want to use, and there are a whole bunch of them out there. I'm using MLA, and I'm using MLA 9, and I know that, so I can tell my teacher that I know which one I'm using because I picked this one on purpose. Okay, so for this task, there are a lot of things that I had to read and make notes on. So I'm almost there. There are 21 chapters or readings that I have for this course. And I changed my version of the syllabus so I can count those versions. So I know exactly how many that there are. So there are 21. All right, so I am working on this one right here. So I'm going to show you how I use EasyBib. So I'm going to create my citation. And it's a book, even though it's online text, I know it is a book. And I've cited this so much, EasyBib is just going to pop up that it's writing spaces, readings on writings. So I'm going to search that. I already cited a lot of information for this text. So there are 4 different volumes. So I'm just going to take that first one because it's writing spaces, reading and writing that I know. I'm only citing a chapter from it. And so instead of copying or instead of retyping, I know I'm working on this one right here, this Ellen and Alice. So I am just going to copy and paste the title because I know that's what I'm working with. And I'm also going to copy and paste the authors. So because this is part of a book, these are the section authors. So I just want to make sure I have the right, they are authors of a section of a chapter that's in a bigger volume. So I have that right. And I'm just going to go ahead and put people's names in, drag that over there. Whatever I can do to make this kind of tedious part of the assignment not so tedious. So there are 2 authors, and I am not going to list them alphabetically. I'm going to use them how they were presented in the text. So it's listed with LNC first and Alice Horning second. So that's how I'm going to put them here. I'm going to double check that information too. The book title, I already have that. And I can't tell from the syllabus what volume it's from, but the syllabus does give me a link to the chapter that I actually have to read, and I already have that open. So yes, so their names I'm going to use them exactly how they are listed here. I also need, so here I know it's from volume 4. Okay, so I am going to go here and the volume number 4. And I need to make sure I get the page numbers and then the correct date. And then I also need to make sure I have everyone who put this book together information here. So I'm just going to get everything that I have from this page. And to get those page numbers, I'm sorry, I'm just going to count. It starts on page 35 of this book here. And I'm just going to do that and go down to the actual. So I'm using the actual page numbers from the text. and it is on page 50. So put that information in there. Now I need information about like the cover page of this book. So to do that, I'm going to go to the home page here. I already have that open. So this is the home page, and I want to make sure I get this volume. So like here, I'm going to make this a little bit bigger. So the current volume is volume 4, and then there's past volumes. So this is how I know there are more than one version of this book. So this is an edited collection of information. The information inside each of these volumes, each of these publications of this book has different authors. So I'm in volume 4, so I'm going to click on that so I can get information of who are the editors. There's that information. Now, since we are working like in online space, there's no guarantee exactly where you will go to get this information. I just know I need it, so I have to look around until I get that information. I need more than just the authors. So I'm going to add the other contributors because they're editors. I'm going to click on this drop down, and I'm going to go to source editor, because these people on the left of my screen here, they didn't just edit that chapter, they edited the whole book. So they're the source editor, whereas these two people here, Ellen and Alice, wrote a chapter in it. So that section of the book has different authors. So source editor, and there are a bunch of them. Again, I'm going to do my little copy and paste here, and I'm going to list them just how they're listed there. I'm not going to do anything with changing alphabetical for this, because when, and let me change that to source editor. So because I'm using this EasyBib, I have to still make sure I'm making sure that what the contributors do, that I have selected the right thing. EasyBib won't do that for me. So when you write an article or you write a book, when that gets published, they publish people's names in the order in which they should appear. And so that's why I'm just copying and pasting this. At this point, I don't have to change alphabetical order. This has something to do with like the importance, and that's politics. But so sometimes you'll see the editors are not listed alphabetically. So we just use however it is that those people are listed in the text. So first, second, third. Got to change that to source editor. And there's a lot of people who worked on this book. If you like typing, you can go ahead and type all that information. I'm a copy paster mainly because it helps alleviate misspellings. As a dyslexic learner, I can easily juxtapose when I'm copying, when I am retyping something. So I just use copy and paste. So I have all those editors, and I have the title of the book, all the information. So now I'm going to tell EasyBib to create my citation, and it'll show me where in my list of cited sources here, my bibliography, they're going to appear. And so I shouldn't say any, MLA and APA, when you are creating a works cited page or a reference page or a bibliography, your sources must be listed in alphabetical order. Now, I don't want to think about that, so I like that EasyBib puts people in the order in which they need to be. I also want to point out this other note here that because I'm using MLA, EasyBib has titled this works cited. However, I know I am creating a bibliography. So when I download this, because I can download this from EasyBib, and I'm going to change that to, EN 101 annotated bibliography, because this is not a works cited page. This is actually a bibliography. So these are things you, as the researcher, writer, person putting something together, you have to know a little bit more about what you're doing than what the software is that you're using. So I'm going to go ahead and stop recording, and I'm going to finish my list of sources for this task. And hopefully this was helpful in showing you how to use at least one online source to create a list of references.